Hey guys, so it's that time again. We got a bunch more leaked info, mostly from data mining in Street Fighter V, which gives us hints on what's going to be added for the upcoming Season 3, also known as the rumored Super Street Fighter V. So we recently got our second last character of the season last week, which was Menat. And with Menat came a very small patch, which data miner Xkira has found some hidden information added to the game. That's the small patch that came with the costumes as well as Menat. So let's start with the big one. There's been file names added to the game that read version 2 for V skills, V triggers, V reversals, and critical arts. So this means Capcom might be preparing to add additional V moves to the V system on top of a second super to all the characters in the game. Now if we look back in our first leak when we're talking about Super Street Fighter V, we were told of additional supers being added to the game, but not the V system. So that sounded, pretty believable, adding a second super for all the characters, because adding a second V trigger to every character instead of supers would be an enormous update. It'd be huge. We have so many characters in the game as of now, and we've been getting constant patches, every couple of months, including the big CFN update, which took them a while, beta tests and all. And with new characters being added, it makes you wonder how many people are still working on this game. And, on this already released title, right? Street Fighter V is already out. So they've probably been working on this the entire time since it's been released. Now, you're telling me that Capcom is not only going to add another super to every character, but also add a V trigger to every character, as well as V skills and V reversals? That would be just an absolutely massive update. This would make sense on why Season 3 is not just going to be Season 3, it's going to be this big expansion, and that's why they're going to name it Super Street Fighter V. And we're going to assume that Season 3 is going to be coming out right away, soon after Capcom Cup is finished, just like Season 2 did, right? Sometime at the end of December-ish. So there's no real gap here between these updates. So I'm just a little skeptical on adding this much stuff to the game all at once. And it might be the reason why Season 2 felt kind of underwhelming in terms of updates. Maybe they just weren't ready to launch it in Season 2, and now finally it's ready and shipped for Season 3. Now, like I said, a second V trigger is something we've all wanted and even expected coming for Season 2. So this might be the big leap that we're hoping for last year, when just like Super Street Fighter 4 happened, right? When they added 2 Ultras to Street Fighter 4. It was a giant leap in that game from those 2 versions. Now, another thing that we should consider is how the hell is Capcom going to balance this? Because that is a big deal now, the balancing, because we have the the Capcom Cup, right? And balancing is more important than ever since the esports side of the game is extremely strong. You guys remember how big the Season 2 balance update was. Those patch notes were huge, man. Those PDF files. So now imagine doing that all over again for Season 3, because we know they're going to do another huge one. But on top of this, additional V moves and supers now. I guess there is no way to really balance it, properly without a beta test, or doing another mid-season balance update. Like they did for Season 2, the emergency balance update, but this time they might have to plan for it. It's gonna be like as if the game just came out again. But I think people will be too excited about it anyways, about all this stuff being added to the game if it's true. And everything's gonna feel fresh. All the characters, even the old ones, are gonna feel brand new again because of this. So I don't think people are gonna care about balancing for a bit, right? Until the meta gets reestablished again. And like I said, it will be kind of like a fresh start. Like, this game is brand new. It's something that needs to happen. It's something that needs to happen, and worrying about these things like balancing and stuff, as important as it is, at the end of the day, it's just not gonna matter, because we need these updates. Now, another big piece of information found in the data mining is that you'll actually have the option to customize between version 1 or 2 of your V system and supers. So that means the new V triggers won't force you to also have to use the new V skills with them, or the new supers either, so that's really cool. So for example, if you're a Ken player and you still like his original V skill where he runs, but you want to combine that with his new V trigger, or even his new super as well, you can do that. Full customization. So obviously, adding new V-triggers to the game kind of forces Capcom to allow you to customize this, because you can't give characters both V-triggers at once. This is impossible. They won't be able to do that. I've also talked before about them having to customize if they're going to add have access to both supers as well, because the first rumor is that we're only getting supers, and that would be hard to balance if characters had access to both supers at once. Because in easy examples, if they give Guile like an anti-air flash kick super, and he still has his Sonic Hurricane super, he'd just be like a turtle monster if his super is up. It'd be super hard to get in on him at that point, right? So it's also another thing to mention that Ultra Street Fighter 4 eventually gave access to both Ultras at once, but the way they balanced that is they made the Ultras do less damage overall. So it has been done before, but I just doubt it. Like the way this sounds with this data mining, it seems in Super Street Fighter 5, it'll just be like this full customization, which I agree with. Now, I'm sure most of you guys are worried about there being, the best setup for each character. Anytime we have choices like this in any type of game, there's always going to be like, a cookie cutter optimal one, right? It's just the way it is. But at the end of the day, at least there is a choice, right? Street Fighter 5 needs more options, and this is definitely a good start. It needs to show some way of expressing ourselves and changing, and the fact that it has a choice in itself is what we want. This also could help boost some characters, making them more viable competitively. Let's just say, for example, Jury had a combination of V moves and or supers that made her really, really strong, but only that specific combination would work. Well, at least there would be an option to make her very strong, if you guys get what I'm saying, right? So as long as there is some more ways to give the character chances to be more viable, that's what I'm getting at. Another great thing is that, obviously certain setups will be good versus certain matchups. So one optimal build might not be good versus Guile than if it was versus Zangief, for example. And having to change that between matchups and different opponents, I like that. So this can actually help balance the game too. I also wonder, how much time this will take up, additional time this will take up in tournaments, right? As players might want to change their setups in between rematches and such, or something. But I guess, MVC 2, we had 3 characters per team, 3 assists, right? Or Cross Tekken, 2 characters and you have to assign a bunch of gems, so I don't know. I don't think it'll be much of an issue, but it's just something I was thinking about. So once again, guys, the PlayStation Experience is going to take place on December 9th and 10th, I think, and the Capcom Cup is tied in with that. So that means Season 3 should be coming out around the end of December or beginning of January-ish, and that data mine on the arcade mode being sometime beginning of January 1st kind of makes sense. That's going to be around the time that Super Street Fighter 5, if it's true, will be launching. So really, really exciting. Seems like Capcom's already getting ready, adding stuff to the game inside. We still have more data mining stuff to talk about. I'll talk about that in the next video. Just let me know what you guys think about this V system, additional V triggers, additional V skills, V reversals, and supers. Is it believable that they have this much stuff they're adding to the game on top of the stuff that we already know that's rumored from the leaks? It sounds crazy. It's really exciting, but I don't want to get too excited. I gotta manage my expectations here. So yeah, don't forget to like the video, guys, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll keep you posted on more fighting game news in the future. So till then, guys, take care.